Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming to this webinar on how to organise a hackathon. John Monks from Cambridge Hack is our expert today, and he's going to be telling us how to organise a really successful hackathon. We're going to take questions at the end. Please do enter any questions into Sidebar, and we'll take them as we come to the end of the session.
For the last 12 months at Cambridge Hack, we've been putting together events that bring together diverse groups of people to come up with brand new ideas and solve old problems. And what I'm going to do today is walk you through just the background of what even a hack is and why you might want to do it, how you could plan one, some of the common pitfalls that will occur when you're trying to plan a hack, and then a little tool that might help as you think about the kinds of problems you would like to challenge. So there's a lot of talk nowadays about engagement, and that word has been devalued over time as people start to associate it with fairly low value interactions online. Some of these interactions may even be with bots, who knows. But at the core of the word engagement is something that's really, really valuable. It's the connection between people, one and another person. And we know that when you get people together, when they truly engage with one another, you come up with some brilliant ideas. Now, what people mean by engagement is changing a lot as well. We know, all of us, that gone are the days when 9 to 5 was an acceptable form of service. Nowadays, people want to be able to get the services they want whenever they want and wherever they want. We all know that some of the most exciting consumer brands have been engaging with their customers in innovative ways for a long time. But it's not just the Pepsis and the Cokes of the world. It's not just Procter & Gamble and Google that can interact with their customers. It's also some of the more mundane services. Two of my favourites are DHL here, so a supply chain company. What's interesting about them to me is that they have run over 6,000 collaboration events with their customers, and they've come up with some amazing ideas. And as a result of doing that, they've come up with ideas that have increased their customer satisfaction scores above 90% and are also meaning that they get new products out into the market quicker. Also, did you ever think you could engage with a funeral care company? Well, Foster's Funeral Care in Scotland is actually doing so in a really interesting way on Instagram, less about the actual process of a funeral and more about how to enjoy the end of life better. So coming up with new ideas is something that all organisations need to do now. To stay ahead, or even just to stay at pace with their competition, they need to be coming up with new ideas and they need to get them out into the world. Thomas Edison once said that to have a great idea, you have to have lots of them. But having new ideas is not easy. You need to have loads and loads and loads of ideas before you come up with some that could be even good, let alone great. And how do you do that? How do you actually go about coming up with lots of ideas? We've been working with companies, big and small, with public bodies, trying to think about how they can harness the power of diverse thinking to come up with those new ideas, and quickly. And that's why we created Cambridge Hack. We believe that the hackathon format, which we've changed into something which is a little bit more inclusive, allows you to harness the power of your customers, to engage with industry and other SMEs, to take the expertise that other people out there may have, and to bring them all together in an environment where people can really come up with great new ideas. So what is a hack? Well, a hack is based for us on the idea of a hackathon. These hackathons have been around for quite a few years now, and they really are technical events where people get together and they code together. We've taken the best bits of that and we've expanded it to think more about what is the problem you're trying to solve, how do you come up with new ideas, and then what process do you wrap around it to make that really work. So what a hack is normally 1 or 2 days. In that, you'll have various different people. You've got the hackers themselves, who are often students or techies. You'll have some experts. You'll have some customers, probably. You'll have some mentors, and these mentors are very important to the process. And what you do then is you guide them through a process of inspiration, ideation, coming up with some prototyping, and then getting ready to pitch those to the judges. So why would you hack? The reasons for hacking are many, but the main ones are you get a lot of stuff out fast, you get it done quickly, and you get it done with less. You get to engage with customers, you get to engage with your supply chain, you get to think about ways that your business can be more customer-led. And when they work well, you're going to get huge engagement. You're going to get co-creation, both within your organization, with your customers, with the wider world. You're going to have some real-world prototypes, and you're going to get them soon. You're going to get buy-in from your organization, you're going to get support from your customers, and you're going to get engagement and momentum. However, not every hack is a good hack. Hacks are becoming more common, and many of them now fail. And those can be a real disaster. It can be bad PR, it can be a bad engagement for your employees, it can be something which the attendees feel frustrated about, it can be something that upsets your sponsors, and at the end of the day, if you pull it, It's just bad all round. So I'm going to give you a few tips about things to look out for so that you can make sure that you avoid those pitfalls. First of all, you need to think about the purpose of your hack. Many times we see people say, I'd love to run a hack, it'll be great PR. But that's really not enough. You need to have a problem that you're solving or a cause that you're working on. You need to have something that's going to draw people in. But that in itself is not a purpose. You need to think, what is the challenge we're trying to address? What is the customer need we're trying to solve for? And secondly, you need to think about the objectives. So for the organizer, normally it's about engagement and ideation. For the participant, often it's about learning something and having fun. Now, these don't have to be the same, but they do have to be aligned. You also need to think about what's going to happen after the hack. The worst experience for the participant is they get to the end of it, they pitch their amazing idea, and nothing. So think about how their ideas get taken forward into the world. It's also important to understand what's going to attract hackers to come to your hack. So if you're a well-known charity, you can probably get people to come along just for your cause. However, if you're a bank or a utility or government, I don't think you can assume that you're going to get the same. Also, know what you want to make. Often, people go in and they create PowerPoint presentations that are beautiful, and at the end of the day they're disappointed because what they really wanted to do was make something tangible. That's usually a great thing to focus on, but if you are going to do that, then you need to understand what it is and you need to have the materials to hand. And it should go without saying that you need to communicate about your event. You can't just stage it and expect people to come. You need strong promotion, and that promotion can carry through the event. Most hackathons are great at attracting social media activity, and that can continue way beyond the event. And think about what resources you need. Often, people will think that a 2-hour meeting is enough to plan a hack. In reality, to get a good hack, this requires a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work from a lot of people. Now that is great and it's an exciting thing for people to do, but it doesn't happen overnight. And don't forget, people need to eat. Don't run out of food. So I'd like to give you an example. In February of 2017, we ran a hackathon in Cambridge, the purpose of which was to try and come up with solutions to the challenge of congestion in Cambridge, which is an incredibly congested city. We spent some time working out exactly what problem we were trying to solve and narrowed it down to solving congestion to improve health and economic activity, and we ran a fantastic event. After a lot of hard work and planning, we ran a hackathon over the weekend at the start of February 2017. We had about 100 hackers. These were students. They came from Cambridge University and from Anglia Ruskin. We had about 70 mentors from the local community. So they were local residents, they were members of trade associations, they were local business owners. We had experts in their fields. Over the weekend, we had 8 teams. They came up with 6 working prototypes of digital products. We had 2 business concepts for entirely new business ideas. The team that won, that presented to the sponsors and was picked as the winner, went on to attend the Global Transport Hackathon in Montreal and win it. One of the things that makes a hack different is that you use tools. Now, these can be real physical tools like hammers and spanners and screwdrivers, but they can also be metaphorical tools, business thinking tools, or creativity tools. And I want to give you an example of one of those to get your appetite whetted for running a hack. The reframing tool was invented by the Think School of Creative Leadership, and it's based on a philosophical idea of perspectives of how we view the world. Often this idea that every person will have a different perspective is seen as a challenge, as illustrated in this fun cartoon. The reality is, though, that you can use that to your benefit by harnessing all of those different perspectives and bringing them together. So look at this image. You could look at this and think there is no market for shoes, or you could look at it and think there is an opportunity for selling shoes. This is a great example of a reframed challenge. Reframe is a simple 4-step approach. You start by describing your core belief. Once you have that, you describe the 4 beliefs that support that. There could be more, there could be fewer, but we found that 4 works well. Once you have those, you take all 4 of them and create exact opposites. This can be fantastic fun because to start with, they'll be fairly ludicrous. But after that, you try and come to something which is more rational. And the final step is to take these 4 opposite supporting beliefs and synthesize them into a single new core belief. Now that sounds very complicated, and it is very complicated in the abstract, so let me walk you through an example that hopefully will bring it to life. Statements like these show a few core beliefs that could be reframed very well and show the opportunity that's provided when you reframe. So the core belief that we're going to reframe here is that people won't engage with water companies. The beliefs that support that core belief are that there's nothing in it for me, that they're just making money out of something that should be a basic right, that the only reason to get in touch with them would be for bills and emergencies, and that it's painful and difficult. The opposites we came up with were these. They give me new ways to think about water. I can see they're spending my money to make a difference. It's pleasurable and straightforward, and they offer me ways to spend less. From those four opposites, we came up with a new core belief. People will engage with good companies that offer simple, money-saving opportunities and new ways to use water. Hopefully that's given you an insight into what a hack is and why you might want to do one, the pitfalls you can look at and try to avoid, and a tool that you could get using straight away.